Hey, 10-minute daily reality check. It's Monday. It's February. It's almost over. For those of you on the East Coast, good luck. March does not bring warm weather. March brings more of the same shit you've been having. For us on the West Coast, well, it was cold and breezy, and it was very funny to walk around LA and seeing people bundled because it was 55 degrees. To me, I prefer the weather to be chilly than I do hot. I would not survive a day in South Florida, and I belong more in the Arctic North because I like the weather to be cold. Anyway, today we're not going to talk about that. Who cares about the weather? It's a boring conversation anyway, and really you don't need to know the details about my weekend because you always want it to be about you because this is your reality. We're going to go back and teach you a little bit of a history lesson today before I introduce my next guest. Back in the early 2000s, when some of you were very, very young and I was still sort of young, there was this movement of men. These men would get together and they'd get on forums and they'd give advice and they'd do things like lay reports. I thought lay was the potato chip, but apparently they gave a report. It was like the blind leading the blind, but yet they all had all these cool names and all these great methods. There was the Phantom method. There was the Thomas method. Who knows who Thomas was, but maybe he was an English muffin, but we don't know. There was all these cool names. Guys would get on and they'd be Hula Man. They'd be Puma Guy. They'd be Adidas Guy. They'd be all these cool names and they'd give advice. And then they followed the leaders. And the leaders would be these guys dressed in ridiculous outfits. And they would teach these men code things like negs and higher value and all this other crap. But for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, it was what I have always been calling the PUA industry, which is the pickup asshole. Because any guy that I think that needs to come up with a different personality is a complete fucking asshole. That's right, an asshole. Instead of working on your personality, instead of being the best version of you, you want to somehow or another become an alpha guy. Because let me tell you something. If 100% of the men were alpha guys in this world, there'd be fights at every single stoplight. There'd be murder on every single street, and there would never be anything done. You'd get in line at a coffee shop with 10 other alpha guys, and the fists would be flying, and everybody would be going crazy. But yet men were brainwashed, and then they were brainwashed from 2005 to 2012 with marketing tactics, things that will work, words, and not once does this shit ever work. Because anybody that's ever come to me that was once a PUA needs to come and learn personality fucking transformation, because it all comes down to this. I've never been a PUA. I've never used any of those techniques, and I've dated the most beautiful women in the world. Why? Because I worked on my personality. I learned how to speak to women. I actually like women. I'm not angry at them. I would never post things in a forum that would ever whip women apart, nor would I ever try to neg a woman so she didn't feel good about herself so then I can look like I have higher value, because fucking A, I already have higher value. So today, joining me, a woman by the name of Erin. Erin is going to tell you what women really think about what this movement was, because to me it should have been called BUA, bowel movement artists, because it looks like when they walked over to a woman, it looks like they were holding in some really fucking bad chronic diarrhea anyway because they were so nervous. So Erin, as a woman who grew up during the PUA industry, what do you think about all this stuff, and what do men really need to do?
Okay, so I think the PUA movement is an unfortunate product of some kind of a sick need to feel in control and to feel like women will want to have sex with you without you having to be a joke or feel embarrassed. But I've had experiences where I have literally thought a man was trying to rape me and or just do something strange to me. And it was during the mystery method years. I was young, and I'll never forget, a man had a dog, and I was on Larchmont, which has now evolved into a very trendy, place where people like to walk and walk their dogs. And this man comes up to me and was like, "Hey, can our dogs sit together?" And it sounded like this weird, creepy pickup line. And little did I know that there was an entire world of the game and PUA and layers and all these tactics. But I literally ran across the street terrified for my life. So pickup artistry is a sad, dark, manipulative, probably sociopathic attempt to lure men who feel desperate and lost or confused and isolated into having power. The biggest turn on to me ever is a man that has a voice and an opinion and a real heart. And I think the sad tragedy of PUA or pickup artistry or methods and tricks is that the men who want to learn it have these big hearts, and they feel that they have to lose that and kill that and murder their souls in order to be attractive, when the exact opposite is true. Finding your heart and your voice and abandoning tricks and, magic switches and magic magnets and potions is the best thing a man could do. Raw honesty is a turn on, and the type of women that will be attracted to PUA, that's another thing. I have so many opinions, you guys. I could literally rant for like 12 hours on it.
Okay,
But
before you rant, I want to say something which is really interesting. I want to comment on, and I agree with you. The men that have come to me that have been abused, or the men that have come to me that felt like they needed to be PUAs, have the biggest hearts in the world, and they're actually great guys. They were never taught that their personality can shine. They were never given a voice. They always thought they needed to be something else because had the perception that this other way was being cool. And when I go and I deprogram the PUA crap that they've learned from the ridiculous PUA companies that are still out there pushing this garbage, the guy comes through and he actually shines and his true personality comes out. And you know what? The women start to respond to them because women are not responding, as you just said. They're not responding to games and tricks. Now, the type of women that responds to the game, the games and tricks. I mean, I've known these PUA guys for a long time, and I've seen their girlfriends. These are girlfriends that you would find at a crack den. These are girlfriends that you would find that were rejected strippers, okay? These are girlfriends that you would find at a trailer park, okay, basically fucking hanging out. These are girlfriends that you would pick up at the Motel 6 and not the Four Seasons. So, yeah, if you want some low vibrational fucking trashy women, and that's all you really want to do and bring home to mom, because if you think about it, a lot of these guys that went into PUA were mama's boys to begin with. Your mom isn't going to be happy when you bring home the white trash fucking whore that fucking failed, that literally smoked crack and fucking did meth for the Breaking Bad crew, and that's going to be your girlfriend. Great, you got laid, but you also ended up with disease and a woman who has 6 kids from 17 different men. They mixed the sperms because they got involved in a gangbang that night, and there was like 10 guys that did them that night, so all the sperm got together, and that's how they had 17 different men as the father, because I don't know who the father is. And that's really what these low self-esteem women are about. They will fall for another man that rips them apart.
Mhm. No, it's honestly, as a woman, I obviously know what women actually say behind closed doors, and I see this trend because I know so many women, like who have STDs, for example, who just will sleep with any man and don't give a, you know, they don't give a shit about themselves. They care about being manipulated. Yeah, like it's true. If you want women that are literally, number one, gonna probably betray you, go cheat on you, go do meth or drugs. I mean, there are so many crazy women out there that will literally reinforce what you believe right now, but make you feel 400 times worse. And you will spend your life chasing this nutcase who just feels like she'll make you feel worse than you feel right now. And you will have a self fulfilling life where you end up feeling like women are insane because the only women who are attracted to men who walk up and say, hey, do you want to do this like later? Or, hey, how's your purse? It's so cute. Or random, pickup approach lines, or women who you devalue and insult, you're going to find very dark, lost souls who really have no business being in a relationship. That's why being fully like men, I love men. I love men because I think they're sweeter and kinder than many of the women who are out there right now. But women have this false idea that being a certain way or appearing a certain way to men, okay, pickup artistry might give results in the short term. That's the reason, like David, there has to be some positive result that ends up happening for people to even believe it, right? That's what
Right.
I always tell myself. But these results are so minuscule in comparison to what you could really achieve and the type of woman who fills your heart up with inspiration and good sex, not just her being like, oh, fuck me on what? Wait, am I allowed to curse on here?
Oh yeah,
Um,
you curse away.
oh, God.
Absolutely. Curse
Oh,
away.
excellent. So if a woman, because I was actually watching one of your videos and I saw what you said about a woman needing to be a turn on to a man. And the woman who is comfortable in her skin, a woman who will actually make you feel like the man you want to be, who will encourage you, make you feel better, is only going to happen if you approach her with a true open heart and a sense of purpose in your life. Being hilarious and finding your voice, like video games, you like discussing cookie, whatever it is, if you abandon, and I mean abandon, the idea that being a PUA is right, and that honestly, what David Wygant is saying is the I fully agree with all of it. And I'm very happy to hear that there's somebody who's a man who has clear authority in this industry who just tells it like it is. I think that's beautiful. And what's most attractive about David Wygant, for example, it's not his muscular physique, which is obviously attractive, but that's not what it is. It's his heart, it's his voice. It's that he's willing to go against an industry that is horribly manipulative and just say, fuck it, I'm gonna be me, I'm gonna give the truth, and I'm gonna go for it. Alpha males, quote, oh, I hate that word, but I have to use it because it's the lingo or whatever. Alpha males have a voice, an opinion, and a heart. That's all. It's not about, oh, this other guy, did this and ruined my social proof. Therefore, I need to neg XYZ and do this. No. The reason David can go pick up women at Whole Foods is because he knows himself, he knows who he is, and he really doesn't care if the girl is like, yeah, I like you, or no, I don't. It's like, it's about stepping back from the nonsense and really looking at your life, yourself, what you want, not a creepy tactic you can use or and I trust me, you guys, anybody who's listening, I know exactly what PUA is. I know it from A to Z. So I'm not speaking as some nutcase woman who you shouldn't be listening to. I know that that happens where women, will give advice and then are like, don't trust her. She's lying. If I use my PUA tactic, it'll work. It depends on what woman you want. But I'm sure that you have an idea of what woman you want, but I don't know if you do because you've probably never experienced what it's like to have a heart really awakening conversation with somebody.
Well,
Um,
I'm going to comment on that because it's really interesting. I was brought up by my mom and my mom's friends. So I learned about heart awakening conversations when I was a teenager, right? So I never needed this shit. To me, it's always about connecting on a much deeper level. Secondly, I don't need to, and I've always told guys this over and over again, it's a mutually shared experience when you're with somebody. When you are sharing a mutual experience, when you go
I know
over and
you're Robocop it.
yeah, I know the RoboCop. They can hear me. You can't hear me, so I'm going to go back into this. Okay, you got to stay in that area that you're at. So the mutual experience is being shared by two human beings. If I'm at a Whole Foods or a coffee shop and there's a woman standing there and I start talking to her, it's a mutually shared experience. I want to give her a great experience. I'm not looking to impress her. I'm not looking to close her. I'm not looking to seal a deal. I'm not looking to go put a lay report online. I'm not looking to be validated or any of that stuff. And also there's an abundant mentality. PUA mentality is a loser mentality. There's no abundance at all. Abundance to me has always been, I've had beautiful girlfriends my whole life. I'm going to always have, I've got a beautiful one now. And to me, they just get more beautiful because my heart keeps opening up more. The dogs that's the only thing you're going to get, guys, is if you fucking do the PUA shit, you're going to be dating some fucking scary dogs, man. The dogs are reacting to it because there's a PUA behind the other wall that we're going to bring on. We'll have to bring on later in the week. And the PUAs are barking, going, yes, I love this. The girls who are ugly and the girls who have low self-esteem. So that's what they're doing. They're going, yes, my low self-esteem is falling for your low self-esteem bullshit. And not only that, it really comes down to if you're fucking memorizing a bunch of tricks and you're asking guys online or pickup guys online what to say next in a conversation, you're not a fucking human being, because human beings have conversations. We don't think about what we're going to say next to our boss. We don't think about what we're going to say next to our friend. We have human conversations. We fucking listen. Women are the greatest listeners in the world. So the fact is, if you're going to try to pull a game on them, they already know you've been exposed, that you're using the phantom, mystery, penis method, whatever it might be.
Literally, though.
So you need to wrap it up, because those dogs are going crazy for that PUA in the next room. So give one final statement. And this was a very unique podcast when we have dogs basically reacting to other dogs. There's a pickup artist that we can't bring on today. I know. You know, he was trying his lines and look what happened, okay?
I know. Well, there's so much I want to say, but I guess I'm trying to figure out because you guys, I hope each one of you that hears this, just take one step back from whatever you're feeling right now. I know you feel overwhelmed or confused and you want a result, but I promise you, the biggest turn on to me, again, I'm kind of out there, but I think I represent a certain segment of women that want something genuine. The biggest turn on is being fully true to yourself, having kindness in your heart, but not being concerned with proving it. Don't go proving how kind you are. Don't think you have to prove your worth. You are you. And if you build on that, if you wear minimal, obviously take care of like your hygiene and eat well and, don't, drink 40 beers a night and like obviously care for yourself, but care about your personality and you, and remember that women who want to have sex with you will come. Well, they'll
Literally,
come and they will come.
They will come.
Literally.
They will
They will come and climb on. Women are sexual beings. Women are not stationary objects that need to be convinced to fuck you. Women love sex. I really want men to know that women do love sex. There is a really innate desire in 99% of women. You just have to create moments and shared experiences where you let her reveal herself. You show that you are a person who can be present and listen, and you let I would tease. That's what I want every man to know. When in doubt about what to do in any situation, you have to tease and make a woman feel like you are available, but you're not desperate. So make her want it more, be patient, take it or leave it, and leave her wanting more. She will end wanting to be with you, and she will become obsessed with you sooner or later.
I love it. Let's end at that.
Go on and on and on and on about this, but I know that there are time constraints, so I don't know if that's something that I can do or not.
That's good. We'll go on and on another day when you're not freezing, because right now you're freezing. And where can they read your words of wisdom? Because you've got many words of wisdom that they can read. Tell me where they can read those words.
Where they can read what words? Sorry.
Your words of wisdom. Where can they read your words of wisdom?
Oh, my words. Well, lately I started a YouTube channel, and it's Sweet Erin, literally. That's where I give all my advice for men, and I'm developing it, and I'm very excited about it because it's basically anti-PUA and everything literally that you could want for meeting women, attracting, what to do, what not, A to Z basically, because I've worked in this industry, I know it, and I have no problem spreading truth. So Sweet Erin on YouTube, literally.
Perfect. Sweet Erin at YouTube. We'll bring Erin back again because she's fun. This time we'll stick her in a much better Wi-Fi location, okay, so we don't RoboCop out. And for the rest of you, any of you guys who know PUAs or want to be PUAs, fuck, we never talk about this because this podcast is for men and women, but today I just kind of felt like it needed to be discussed. We'll discuss it some more. You can put your nasty comments down below, you guys that are Pickup artist, go ahead, fucking make fun of whatever you want to make fun of. The rest of you, you can put better comments. For the rest of you who like the show, pass it on. For those of you who hate the show, hate it as much as you possibly want, because at least we created an emotion in you today. I'll see you tomorrow on The Reality Check.